News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. There's your closing bell for this Friday on Wall Street as stocks kind of wavered at the end of this jittery week. A sell-off in chip makers offsetting the decline in oil. We bring you the closing numbers each day here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 gained about 4 points. Little changed on the upside. NASDAQ lost 162 points and the Dow gained 235 points. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.68% and the 2-year yield at 4.33%. Now, we're going to take you right to the tech stocks, but first, Paramount Skydance has just agreed to pause its mega merger with Warner Brothers Discovery until the antitrust cases are concluded or until June 1st, 2027, whichever comes first. In a legal filing, Paramount and the state attorneys general said that they had reached an agreement to freeze the $111 billion merger while that case works its way through the courts. Paramount shares fell 3% in regular trading. Warner Brothers Discovery shares declined a little more than 0.5%. Now we get you back to tech. Now, the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index fell 4.5% in the regular session, led by Micron. It's down nearly 8%. Intel shares fell about 8% in regular trading after the chipmaker delivered a revenue forecast that beat Wall Street expectations. Senior semiconductor analyst Kujan Sobhani with Bloomberg Intelligence says Intel's turnaround was fueled by the need for chips.
After quarters and quarters of facing hurdles and missteps, this was finally the most cleanest positive quarter from a fundamental perspective. They beat on all metrics, but more important than that, they showcased a lot of confidence in the foundry progress that they're making.
Bloomberg analyst Kujan Sobhani tells Bloomberg Intelligence the spending is what's moving Intel shares lower. Intel raised its spending forecast to about $20 billion this year and signaled it'll spend even more next year. American Express raised its full-year revenue forecast to 10%, but saw its expenses surge 12% last quarter on premium advertising. Ben Elliott covers credit cards for Bloomberg Intelligence and says higher card fee growth creates some optimism for the Amex forecast.
They raise people's card fees when they renew their card, right? So that's kind of on a rolling basis, and they're still raising card fees from the previous refresh of the Amex Plat. So that's going to keep rolling into P&L through next year, and that will make some of the elevated expenses look more palatable to investors, I think.
Bloomberg's Ben Elliott with Bloomberg Intelligence, and American Express shares fell more than 4% in regular trading. President Trump says the U.S. is set to open a formal investigation into the European Union's trade practices. He claims the bloc has unfairly levied billions of dollars of fines against Google, Apple, and other tech giants in the U.S. Trump's threat comes right after his decision to impose duties of at least 10% on products from around 60 trading partners, including the EU, citing the desire to limit goods that are made with forced labor. Dartmouth College professor of economics Douglas Irwin tells Bloomberg News that Trump's new tariffs are on stronger legal ground.
They probably will be challenged in the courts, but it's not clear that the courts will overturn them. So these tariffs are probably here to stay for some time.
Dartmouth College professor of economics Douglas Irwin on Bloomberg TV. President Trump has expressed frustration with the war in Iran. It has stretched now into its 5th month and intensified fighting. Iran continues to launch missiles against targets in the Strait of Hormuz and against U.S. military bases in that region. Tom Carrico is a defense analyst at the Center for Strategic and International Studies.
We've been bombing them the last 13 days, but they keep managing to get missiles off. We have not sufficiently graded either the missiles themselves or their launch infrastructure. It's a reminder that the whole desire to do things before the missiles are launched, while highly desirable, is also very hard. When you bury things underground, you make it harder to be struck.
Tom Carrico is a defense analyst at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. He was on Balance of Power. South Carolina has been chosen to lead off the Democratic Party's 2028 presidential nominating schedule. The overhaul reflects Democrats' efforts to give greater influence to states that better mirror the party's diverse coalition, especially among people of color. The decision by the Democratic National Committee's Rules and Bylaws Committee will need to be approved by the full organization in August. Basketball star LeBron James signing now with the Philadelphia 76ers. James posting on social media that he believes he can make the 76ers a championship team. James will sign a 2-year, $8 million deal with a player option. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris, and this is Bloomberg.